Hey, good afternoon. Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. I do this daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I do it daily, or I do it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The other day I do on air with Russell of Hotels, which is that live hospitality talk show. That it's a live one too. Did I say it was live? Yeah, everyone's talking about it. I'm sure you've heard of it. But yeah, so that's live on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Facebook. So, and actually, I'm live on those platforms right now. And please disregard. I just see this right here. It's a little, that's a light spot, a sunspot coming through my green screen. So please forgive me for that. I don't know. I can't. I guess certain times of the day when the where the sun is, and it makes a it makes a nuisance, right? But anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hey, did you guys see the little promo I did earlier? Hopefully you guys did. Hopefully you guys did. Talked about proactive sales versus reactive sales. That's going to be the topic for today. These daily check-ins are about, education. It's about, letting you know what's what. Maybe you're not in hotel sales at all. Maybe you don't know what proactive versus reactive sales is or are, whatever. Maybe you can learn something, and that's what it's all about. And it's all about engagement and learning and education, right? I spent a lot of time in hotels, in sales specifically. The last probably 15 years of my hotel career or on property career was in sales as a director of sales and marketing, and all that kind of stuff. So I know a little bit about it. But let me turn the chat on so you guys can make your comments, your reactions, you can engage, because this is all about engagement. Okay, so let me just make sure I am live. Let's see, make sure. I always want to make sure that I am live where I'm supposed to be live. LinkedIn is like the big thing for me, so I always want to make sure the other ones pop up, but LinkedIn doesn't. It never tells me that, hey, you're live on LinkedIn, right? I don't get a notification that I'm live on LinkedIn. I'll get one from YouTube and some of the other ones, but for whatever reason, and LinkedIn maybe need to work on that, so I can just look on the screen, it just pops up, but it doesn't. So I'm like waiting right now to see if it's going to pop over. And let's see. I'm do this one more time. One more again. Oh my goodness gracious. Are you kidding me right now, LinkedIn? Come on now. Don't fail me now, LinkedIn. But if I'm not live on LinkedIn, that's okay. I guess what I have to do is, well, I have to copy and paste what I'm doing onto LinkedIn. See, I'm not. This is crazy. It's driving me. I don't know why I got to sing a song, but I just felt like singing a song. And I'm gonna give it one more second to let me know if you are there or not. Darn it, this is really getting on my nerves now. Every now and then it will log itself out, and I don't know until after the show has started that it logged itself out. Yeah, it's not there. It's not there. But that's okay. All right, whatever. Let's keep it moving. So anyway, like I said, Russell Hotels, happy Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, or as I like to say, happy hump day. So hope you guys are doing, I keep saying hope you guys are doing well, but I mean, I do generally hope you guys are doing well. But we're going to get into a couple of things coming up here. And these shows, this daily check-in doesn't have to be that long, but I tend to make them long, depending on comments and things like that. But I welcome the engagement. So if it's going long because of engagement, I'm all for it, right? I got time. I can field some questions and all that kind of stuff. And actually, today I was just looking, I was calculating how many lives I do on a annual basis, and it's 260. So I do 260 lives, and that's made up of the daily check-in, which is 4 days a week, and on air with Russell of Hotels. So I just figured that out, like how many lives do I actually do in a 12-month period, and it's like 260, at least 260 at the minimum. So you're gonna see me 260 times out of a year. So you may not see me in person ever, but you're gonna see me 260 times, okay, on via LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. So even though I'm not live on LinkedIn or Facebook or on LinkedIn, the replay will go on there. I will basically copy and paste it over there. So don't worry, you're still gonna get me. So don't think you're missing out on something, because you're not. It's just that you're missing out on the live portion where you can make comments and all that stuff. But it's gonna work. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I see Jim. Hey Jim, how are you? I see more now than when we worked. Yes, I see you more now than when I worked with you. Yes, that is so true, Jim. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming on and making your comment. Yeah, that is so true, right? Some people say, I only see you when I get a notification on whatever social media platform. So I guess that means it works, right? And there's another indication that things work. I just got another client yesterday, right? And this a client on the hotel site selection side, right? So a client needs me to find a hotel for them on the East Coast, right? And they basically already have a hotel in mind that they want to use. So I said, yeah, gave it a rundown of, how things work and how I operate and all that kind of stuff. So, and it was based on them seeing me on Facebook, right? So they kind of had an idea of what I did, but they weren't really sure. So, pick up the phone and call and said, hey, I understand you do this. Well, this is what I'm trying to do, whatever. And it's all because of this, this engagement, this interaction, this live daily check-in that I do, or the on air with Russell of Hotels. One of the two. I didn't ask exactly which one, but she did see me on Facebook, right? So that's the thing, right? So I just know that it works. And I always tell people, if you got a personal brand or you're trying to build it into a business or whatever, what's the best way to reach people that you don't see all the time? Like Jim said, he sees me more now on these platforms than he does that when we work together, right? So there you go. I mean, if that doesn't kind of, prove a point, I don't know what else does. But like I said, and not everyone does it though, right? So that's the thing. Not everyone is comfortable enough to do it. I just thank God that I am comfortable enough to do it. I am a salesperson. I love to talk, as you can tell, right? So that's what I do. That's what I'm going to continue to do as long as I'm able, to formulate, my mouth and lips and and all that stuff to talk about whatever I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do it. So anyway, let's move forward. Real quick, Globa 7 Transportation in New Orleans. If you're ever going to New Orleans, you need to check out Globa 7. It's not just about the transportation part. It's an experience, right? Monday, who was a good friend, dear friend of mine, his name is Monday. That is his name. Monday is not just a day of the week, but he's actually the owner of Globa 7, right? And he acts as like a mobile concierge as well, right? Gives you, great points of interest in New Orleans. Did you know New Orleans has like over 150 festivals that happen throughout the year? It's not just the Essence Festival or the Mardi Gras. It's a lot of things that go on there. Well, he can let you know those things, right? Or he can take you to points of interest. What people are doing, the fan boat tours and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he'll let you know all those things. But it starts with a call or email to him. His email is monday@globa7.com, or you can go globa7.com and you can get all the information. But make sure if you're going to New Orleans, plan ahead. Just like when you make your flight reservation, your hotel reservation, make sure you make your transportation reservations as well, because it does fill up fast. And from what I understand, what do you call it? Uber and Lyft are not as reliable as we think they are, okay, in New Orleans, all right? So just so you know. So there you go. Had to give him a plug, right? He's one of my new sponsors. So anyway, what is the topic for today, Russell? I know you always do topics. Well, the topic for the day is proactive sales versus reactive sales. What does that even mean, Russell? So I'm gonna let you know in a minute, but a real quick shout out to Miss Jessica Setjay. She's with Omaha, Nebraska CVB. She just responded to an email that or in message and LinkedIn that I sent. She sent me a package. I guess it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and I unveiled it on this show, the Daily Check-In. I talked about all the goodies because we missed an appointment when I was at IPEC. She was unable to make the appointment, so of course she apologized. And as far as the apology, she actually sent me something, which she didn't have to do, but because she did, I appreciate it. She's a salesperson, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the goodies that she sent. So I just want to give her another quick shout out. So thank you again, Jessica, for the note that you just sent me right before this. I went live. She sent me a note just to kind of, you're more than welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed the goodies, all that kind of stuff. So I did enjoy them. And in fact, I finished the tea, the last bit of the tea. I finished it this morning. Right? I tried to get as much as I could out of those tea leaves, but, it became water. You know what I mean? I drank like 3 cups of tea. And then at the end, it was just basically water, right? Because I got as much out of those tea leaves as I could, right? But no, thank you very much, Jessica. I do appreciate it, and it was great. It was great. Thank you. And I'm still using the soap too, just in case you wanted to know. I'm still using the soap. But anyway, let's jump into this because, like I said, these things don't have to be that long. I just tend to make them that long. I just want to check one more thing because it's really ticking me off that I'm not live on LinkedIn. That is just crazy to me that this thing will log me off and won't tell me that I'm logged off until until I go live, and then I'm like trying to get in and I can't get in. Anyway, okay, proactive sales. Let's just start. It's proactive versus reactive sales, okay? And I'm gonna read some stuff. We're gonna go through it. Of course, I'm gonna give some real life examples because that's what I do. It's all about, like I said, it's all about education. If you know what this is, that's fine. If you utilize, is one better than the other? You're gonna find out. I'm gonna give you my thoughts when I'm done, right? But some people only know one way, right? But is it good to put all your eggs in one basket? Oh, I'm a proactive salesperson. That's all I need to know. Or I'm a reactive salesperson, and that's all I need to know. I mean, do you need a little bit of both? I don't know. I'm gonna save what I have to say till later. But proactive and reactive sales strategies represent two distinct approaches to generating revenue and driving business in the hotel industry. We're going to approach or talk about proactive sales first. Outbound approach. Proactive sales involve actively seeking out and pursuing new business opportunities. This may include identifying potential clients, reaching out to them through various channels, and initiating sales conversation. Yeah, so you're actually the one initiating things. When you're proactive, you're being proactive, right? You're actually the one that goes out and shake the trees and see what falls out, right? Then you're following up. So that's a good thing, right? Is it not? I think so. Strategic planning. Proactive sales strategies are based on strategic planning and proactive prospecting efforts. This may involve conducting market research, identifying target markets, and developing targeted sales campaigns to attract new customers. Yeah, new customers, right? One thing, proactive, you're constantly working on new clients, trying to find new clients. I used to do a thing, and a lot of people did this. I don't think this is something that Russell of Hotels came up with 100 years ago, but I used a flat list, right? So basically a sheet of paper, and this is before, you use a computer too, right? So people are like, well, didn't you use a computer? Yeah, but the flat list was on my desk. So I would use the computer to put the company names on the flat list. Let's say it was 20 companies that we didn't get business from at all, that I wanted to get business from. So I printed this out, put it on my desk. So every time I came to my desk, I would see that. I put it in one of those stands, right? Like the see-through kind of stands. You put a piece of paper in it. I can't think of what it's called, but it basically sits on your desk and you see it, right? In big, bold letters, company A through 20, company 1 through 20, okay? Those are companies that we didn't get business from at all. I would call on them daily, okay, just to try to get business from them. Once I did get business from there, or once they told me, you're never going to get business from us, so stop calling us, which that may have happened 1 or 2 times, right? We're happy with the other hotel. We're never going to utilize your hotel. Well, maybe you need to get them off the list if the potential client is saying that. I think that did happen one time. I did have to take them off the list. But normally, I don't remove them from the list until I get business. So I'm calling them, I'm emailing them, I'm going to events, hoping to see these people. And once I got business from that particular client, I took them off the list. So now I'm down to 19, but guess what I did? I replaced it with another company that we were not getting business from. So it was an ongoing list, right? So it wasn't like, okay, I started with 20. My goal is to get through those entire 20. No, the goal is to continuously work on whatever. Like if there's, like I said, if one left, meaning I got business from there, I put another one there. So it was always a working 20 companies that I'm trying to get business from. That was my approach. That was strategic, right? Strategic planning. It's called a flat list. I ask people now about a flat list, like people that are selling, they don't know. They look at me like I'm a Martian or I got like two heads. They're like, "What the hell are you talking about, Russell of Hotels? We don't do that." I'm like, "It's a working document. Come on." Watts Roots. Hey, what's going on there, buddy? Cam, how you doing, man? Good seeing you on here. My boy, my cousin, your boy, my cousin came by the other day, and I just want to say, hey, man. So hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming on here and showing yourself. Let me know that you're there. I do appreciate it. But yeah, so that's called strategic planning, right? So proactive sales strategies are based on strategic planning and proactive prospecting efforts. So that's prospecting, putting them on a list and trying to get business from them. That's called prospecting. Okay. The third one, relationship building. Proactive sales strategies focus on building and nurturing relationships with clients over the long term. This may include networking, personalized communication, and providing value added services to enhance customer loyalty and retention. Yeah, you have to have a strategy for going after these people, right? You want to build relationship. That's, to me, that is the end goal, to build a relationship with a client, potential client, because if you build that relationship, with a potential client, they will be long-term clients, right? Now, I know sometimes we leave properties but a real client will follow you, providing that, the new hotel you're going to is in a geographical location that they can still utilize, right? But you would be amazed how many, when I went from hotel to hotel, when I was in sales, some of the clients would come with me. Not all of them, but there would be a core group of clients that would come with me because they loved, it wasn't the hotel, it was me. So that's the thing. We got to be the brand of that hotel. We have to be the reason why they come to that hotel. Because just so you know, and you may not know this, but every hotel has a bed and has a restaurant for the most part. Okay. The difference between one hotel versus the other, I mean, we look at, sometimes we get caught up in the brand outside, the big M or the big H or the IHG or whatever the heck it is, right? Well, it's the people that make the big difference, right? So if I'm making a big difference in this particular client's life, it's me. It's coming from me. It's not coming from the hotel. The hotel doesn't have feelings. The hotel doesn't understand what's going on. The hotel's not blocking your space. I'm the one that's blocking the space. I'm the one that's delivering what you need to be delivered, right? So don't discount yourself as a brand, as the person that they want to come and see. They're only there because of you, because you built that relationship. Hotels don't build relationships with anyone. And tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Hotels build no relationships. You build the relationship. So make sure that we are doing that. In the proactive sales world, you build the relationship. The next one, revenue maximization. Proactive sales efforts are aimed at maximizing revenue opportunities by actively seeking out and securing new business. This may involve upselling, cross-selling, and identifying opportunities for additional revenue streams. Yeah, whatever that is, additional revenue streams. I remember, this is some years ago, but back at Sportsman Lodge Hotel, back in the day, right? Jim may know this. We had the potential to make probably more money that hotels ever made, and had nothing to do with room sales. It had to do with the pool. Okay, for whatever reason, this hotel was allowing people from the outside to utilize their pool. Like people in the neighborhood, it was like a neighborhood pool. So if I didn't have a pool, I'm going to Sportsman Lodge and use their pool. I'm going to pack up my bag and take the kids, bring my lawn chair, bring my ice cooler with beer and food, and I'm going to go and just hang out. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening. Now, as a director of sales and marketing, you're looking for opportunities to make revenue. Okay, that's my job. That's my thing to do, right? So I got with Steph, who is the general manager, and said, hey, we're missing a great opportunity. He said, man, I was thinking the same thing. What can we do? Because this is the thing about the hotel. It had a lot of entrances, right? You could just walk, you just park and just walk in and go to the pool. Well, what we did was we put up gates with the approval of, Jim Schichter. Okay, we put up gates, we locked gates, so it kind of served two purposes. It was more secure for the guests, for the hotel guests, and it kept the riffraff out, and it kept the people that really didn't have any business there, meaning the people that were just the pool goers. It forced them, it didn't keep them out, it forced them to come through the main entrance. And when we got them to the main entrance, we started charging them a pool fee. Okay, do you know we made about $250,000 on pool fees? People were rabid to use, they're foaming at the mouth, rabid, they have rabies. They're foaming at the mouth to use this pool because anyone who knows where Studio City is in the valley, it gets like 200 degrees in the summer, okay? It's got to be the hottest part of LA County, all right? So the alternative for them was going to the beach, I guess, which was probably 30 minutes away. And guess what? They would have to pay a lot more money to do that. They had to park, they had to buy food. They had to buy food with us too. But this is the thing. So we started charging a pool fee, and then we started placing minimums, food and beverage minimums on the seats. Per seat, we would charge a food and beverage minimum. They have $50. We didn't care if there was kids sitting in that seat. $50 food and beverage minimums. That's what we were doing. We made so much money for that hotel, not for us, okay, for the hotel, because we identified things that we needed to do to maximize the revenue. Of course, every hotel makes more money on the guest rooms than anything else, right? But this was a way to maximize the people that are coming in. They're getting more money per person that were coming in, even if they were not even hotel guests. And 90% of the people that use the pool in the summer, probably from, Southern California, you can probably use the pool almost every day, right? We just maximize the people that are coming in, the people that were not hotel guests. We still allowed them to come in. They had to sign a waiver because, if they get hurt, I mean, we're liable for that, right? So they had to sign a waiver for not just them, for the kids. But it enabled us to have a more secure hotel, funnel people in the way we wanted them to be funneled in, put food and beverage minimums, and made a boatload of money for that hotel. So as a director of sales and marketing, that is our job, to be proactive. Proactive sales efforts are aimed at maximizing revenue opportunities. So you have to seek out those revenue opportunities. Yeah, rooms is what we want, but sometimes you got to look at your entire operation and say, well, hey, how can I actually make more money with what's existing without really changing the operation? And we didn't change the operation at all. Only thing we did was put up gates. And we had an idea. And I had a general manager and a CEO that understood the big picture. So that was great, right? So I can go on and on and on about some of the other things that we did at that hotel, taking advantage of film shoots and movie shoots, right? Which they did all the time in that area. But, what was not happening, we weren't charging them to park in our parking lot. We had one of those open parking lots, right? We started charging for base camps and all this kind of stuff. Base camp is basically when they're filming in the area and, they need parking. The individual actors or extras or whatever, they need parking. Well, we had a huge parking lot that was not always utilized. So we took advantage of that, and we had certain areas, certain hours during the day that we would charge them. I mean, once again, another opportunity to make a lot of money. And guess what? It didn't cost us a dime. We didn't have to put anything up. We didn't have to construct a parking lot. The parking lot was already there. It just was underutilized. We just took advantage of that stuff, right? So look at your operation and see what you can do to enhance the revenue making potential. I mean, I'm going off on this thing because that's what we did, right? That's what you need to do. Market expansion. Proactive sales strategies enable hotels to expand into new markets, attract new customer segments, and diversify their revenue streams. This can help hotels stay competitive and adapt to a changing market condition. So once again, the proactive part of it, it enables hotels to go into new markets. That was a new market that the hotel had maybe dabbled in, but needed to go more 100% into the entertainment market. The entertainment market was already there. It's just that it was being underutilized. It was being, we weren't really recognizing it. We weren't really seeing that it was a viable option to make revenue. Oh, they've been doing this for years, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they were doing it for years, but they were getting away with basically highway robbery for years, right? The what do you call them, location managers would come there. They just knew that they can just come in and basically park for free. I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing now. And at that particular hotel, we probably did over 100 a year, right? 100 base camp opportunities. It was just crazy money. It was just ridiculous. And previous to me getting there, previous to Steph and myself getting there, they weren't taking advantage of that. So we just took it to another level. We took it to probably 10 different levels at that point, right? They may have been getting a little bit there, scratching the surface, but we identified a lot bigger we wanted a bigger piece of the pie. We were hungry, right? So we made it happen. So so market expansion, just make sure you know what's going on in your market. How can you diversify? How can you expand on what you're already doing? If that's in room sales, that's fine. If that's maybe some potential food and beverage sales out there that you're not thinking about, if that's pool sales, the example that I gave, that's what we need to do. We need to do that because that's what you're being paid for. You're being paid to be creative, to figure things out. So that's where the marketing part comes in and less of the sales part. Because if you're not putting it out there, putting your brand out there, letting people know what you do, you're never going to get anything. So you have to put things out there. And a lot of times being proactive, you have to be in people's face, but you got to be entertaining. You have to invite them over. You're breaking bread with them, whatever. If that's drinks, if that's taking them to dinner, whatever it is, sending them gifts, you got to be proactive with that. So that's hence the name proactive sales. You're not getting anything from them. You may be getting things from them, but you still have to be proactive, right? So anyway, let's move on to the next one. So that was proactive sales. And how much time do I have? Okay, I'm at 26 minutes. Okay, so this is reactive sales. Okay, this is probably going to go a little quicker, all right? Inbound approach. Reactive sales involves responding to incoming inquiries and leads from potential clients. This may include responding to requests for proposals, RFPs, inquiries through the hotel website or reservation system, or referrals from existing clients. Yeah, so this is inbound. So basically, I'm just answering the phone or I'm looking at my computer for, am I getting a lead today? Now, there's some hotels out there. What prompted this topic? Let me just back up. I had a conversation this morning with a young lady who I work with. We work for the same company. We never worked together, but we worked for the same company, and we kept in touch for years. I've known this girl for 20 years, right? So she does convention services for a hotel, and she was talking about, we're having a conversation about some of the sales managers that are there that she works with, that some of them don't understand, proactive versus reactive sales. And, contracts and things like that. They know how to write up a contract, but they don't know how to ask the right questions. Sometimes we just take it as whatever they're asking for, like, okay, we'll do it. I need transportation. Okay, we'll throw that in. If that's important to you, we'll just throw that in. Not asking the extra question, where are we transporting you to? How many people? What time is this, right? If they would ask those questions, it would lead to some other things. You're like, oh, no, we can't do that. Well, they just, whatever the client wants, these particular salespeople do, right? Well, you have to ask questions. I don't care if you're reactive or proactive. You have to ask the question because you have to know exactly, can my hotel do this? I can promise the world and can't deliver a city. Some salespeople do that, right? We'll just do whatever. Oh, yeah, that's somebody else's problem. Worry about transportation. I'm not driving them around. But we have to ask those questions because, believe me, it will get back to the sales, right? That's why, there's some bad relationships between the front office and sales, because sales will promise anything or everything to get that sale, not knowing how operations works, not wondering like, oh, this is going to put a bind on them. Maybe ask that question first. Hey, I have a client that wants to do this. Can we do that? No, we can't do that. Well, why can't we do that? Because this, and that. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Okay. This will put more pressure on our operations team. I don't have enough people to do this. It's better that we don't do it at this time. Okay, that's fine. But we have to ask those questions. And sometimes we don't ask enough of those questions. So when she brought that up this morning, I said, you know what? Proactive versus reactive sales, that would be a good topic. She goes, oh my God, it sure will be. So that's what I did. So I put stuff down, started writing things down and put this together, and boom, this is where we are. Okay, so I always want to give people a little history about how do you get these topics, Russell? You just pull them out of your butt, and sometimes I do, okay? So but sometimes someone has to pull it out. So okay, all right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there. Okay, but anyway, but it was funny though, right? So okay, back to reactive sales approach. Now that you know how I came up with this. And I'm going to read this one again. Inbound approach. Reactive sales involve responding to incoming inquiries and leads from potential clients. This may include responding to requests for proposals, RFPs, inquiries through the hotel website or reservation system. Yeah, so however you get the leads or the RFPs, okay, that's fine. Ad hoc response. Reactive sales strategies are more ad hoc and responsive in nature, focusing on addressing immediate sales opportunities as they arise. This may involve quickly responding to inquiries, providing information, and submitting proposals to secure business. Yeah, I've been in situations, I used to work at the Bonaventure. We didn't have time to go out, right? Because we had so many leads coming in. You had to respond, and we had a thing that no matter what lead we got, we needed to respond by end of the day to that day. That was by 5 o'clock, we needed to respond to that lead. So timing was, we had to do it, right? So you could not leave that day and say, I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow, right? No, once you build that momentum, you got to do it. And some of these programs, because we had 1,300 rooms, 100,000 square feet of meeting space or whatever the heck it was, we had to respond quickly because you had to map out a lot of different stuff. The program, we had to map out the program based on their specs. We had to map out the program and let them know that we could do this or we couldn't do that, right? We got this space, that, and then we had to get approval. Right? It wasn't like we just did it because we got an RFP. We had to rev max everything. So every piece of business that we got in, no matter what kind of lead it came through, how it got to us, we had to rev max it the next morning. Okay, so basically there's a screen up and with all the space and everyone's in there. All the salespeople, the director of sales, director of marketing, all that group, director of group sales, every salesperson in that room. And it's basically, you're trying to get your business there, right? You want them to say, okay, let's pursue that. A lot of times you got nicks. You're like, no, we're not doing that. You're not using the ballroom here. We're waiting for this phantom group that's coming in, that never materializes, but we're still waiting for it. I went through all that stuff, right? So I understand when you say you're reactive sales and you need to respond by the end of the day or in a timely manner, timely fashion. Oh, I understand that completely because I've been in that situation before. So yeah, so you got to respond quickly. Customer service focus. Reactive sales strategies prioritize providing excellent customer service and addressing the needs of existing clients. This may involve resolving issues, handling complaints, and ensuring customer satisfaction to retain business and encourage repeat business. Yeah, you want to make sure, you focus on the client, let them know what's going on, keep them abreast of what's going on. You'll never see these clients though, right? For the most part, you'll never see these in the reactive sales world. You don't see these clients. You may talk to them on the phone, but a lot of the communication is coming via, correspondence, email correspondence, and things like that, phone calls. That's all it's coming. You're not building a relationship. Remember, there's going to be one thing I'm going to bring up about one versus the other, reactive versus proactive, and that is it. The relationship. You're not building a relationship when you're being a reactive salesperson. You're just not. You're never going to see them. You're just going to be communicating. And tell me, how many great relationships do you build when you don't see the people? I don't know. I've never done that, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that says, oh, yeah, I built great relationships with people I never met before in my life. Okay, that's fine. But what happens is that when you go to another position, I think it handicaps you. And I'm jumping ahead now in the way of time here. I'm jumping ahead that you need both experiences, right? Because you're handicapped if you were only a reactive salesperson and you leave that hotel to go to one that you have to be a proactive salesperson. That's the handicap that exists because you only know one way of doing it. You've never been a hunter. You've always been a gatherer. That's a difference, right? Hunt, they can hunt and eat what they kill, right? They're making the phone ring. Someone that's basically just a gatherer, you're just gathering stuff that somebody's already given you. Basically you're picking up the phone like, oh, you got that? Oh yeah, I'm great. I can eat now. I can eat. Yeah. But if those same people have to go out and shake the trees and see what falls out, a lot of times they fail. So we have to train people how to do both and how to do both well. Okay, so would I rather be, Russell? You're asking a question. Are you asking a question to me, Russell? Well, what would you rather be? I'd rather know the proactive, okay, because I know I'm going to eat. All right, I know how to gather. I know how to kill. I know how to do all that stuff, right? But you ask me, I'm telling you, all the traits are equally as important. But being a proactive salesperson, you can go anywhere. Okay, you can go anywhere. You can answer the phone, whatever. You can go anywhere and do whatever you're gonna do. So that's just what I have to say. Customer service focused, reactive sales strategies prioritize providing excellent customer service. Did I mention that? And addressing the needs of existing clients. This may involve resolving issues, handling complaints. Who wants to do all that? That's someone else's job. And ensuring customer satisfaction to retain business and encourage repeat bookings. Yeah, you always want to get repeat bookings, definitely. That makes your job easier. Opportunistic approach, reactive sales efforts capitalize on existing leads and opportunities without necessarily seeking out new business actively. While this approach may be less proactive, it allows hotels to capitalize on immediate revenue opportunities. And then risk management, which is the last one. Reactive sales strategies may be more conservative and risk averse, focusing on maintaining existing business relationships and minimizing the risk of revenue loss. This can be particularly important during times of uncertainty or market volatility, excuse me. In summary, proactive sales strategies involve actively seeking out and pursuing new business opportunities through strategic planning, relationship building, and revenue maximization efforts. In contrast, reactive sales strategies focus on responding to incoming inquiries and leads, providing excellent customer service, and capitalizing on immediate revenue opportunities as they arise. Both approaches have their merits and can be effective in driving business growth in the hotel industry, depending on the hotel's goals, market conditions, and competitive landscape. So yeah, they both work, but if I had to choose one of them, which was better than the other, it's going with proactive, because I've seen the industry, I've been in the industry, and I'm still having conversations with people in the industry. Well, on that side, I'm not on property anymore, but I'm still having conversations with those people. And the common theme around salespeople is that they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to gather business. They don't know how to go out and find it. They know how to, answer the phone or respond to emails, but when it comes to going out in the market segment, they don't even know how to, basically separate market segments, like corporate versus tour and travel versus leisure or SMERF or affinity markets or whatever it is. They're having issues with that as well. So we have to identify those things for the people, because hopefully we're growing people to be better salespeople, right? Where they can leave that particular property and go to a property that is, proactive sales driven. Because I look at a lot of the open positions, and they're looking for people like that. And the people that they hire don't have that experience, so that position ends up being or that hotel sales department ends up being a revolving door. I see it all the time where positions are open, they hire someone they think is the right person for that job, but when that person starts, it's not the right fit. They're like, well, you're just a gatherer. You're not a hunter. I mean, I've had these conversations before. So I think it's a huge disservice if we don't train our people. So it all comes down to training. I mean, remember the Steve Steinhardts of the world, or the, Master Connection, Cindy Novotny of the world? We need to invest in those companies, those organizations, because they taught us how to train, right? They trained us how to sell, and what I'm trying to say, right? So we need to look at those companies, or the Russell of hotels of the world, right? We need to, put our faith in those people, that they know how to train us and teach us how to deal with objections, how to find new markets, all those. How do you decipher if I need to go after new markets? What is a flat list? I'm sure there's some modern ways of using a flat list, but to me, going back to old school is the best way to do it, right? Because it taught me how to be a gatherer, a hunter, not a gatherer, but a hunter. So there you go. That is it. That's what I got to say. That's all I got. You got it? Okay, because I'm about to be gone in a minute. So, Andrew, thank you so much. And Russell for president. Whatever. Whatever. Hey, when you know what you know, you're not afraid to let people know what I know, right? So, no, my job is to educate as many people as I can. And, for the last couple of days has to do with the sales teams of our hotels or our CVBs, our destinations, all that kind of stuff, because that's kind of the same. It's still within the umbrella of hospitality. So, I mean, that's my job, right? That's my job to educate as many people as I can. I can come on these things and just spew out information like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Well, I may be this and that, but you have to educate people along the way, right? You have to, that credibility that I always talk about, make sure, you're credible. How do you build credibility? You talk about things like that. You talk about things that maybe someone doesn't want to talk about. You talk about training people. There is a lack of training in the hospitality industry, okay, when it comes to sales. I'm only going to jump on sales, right, because I know, because I hear. I talk to directors or sales leaders all the time, and the common denominator is that we hired a bunch of gatherers, not a bunch of hunters, okay, and it makes a big difference. So let's train people to take that next step. That's one thing. When I was on property, the people that I worked for, my job was to get them to the next level. If they wanted my job, well, then take my job so I can get the heck out of here, right? Some people took advantage of that. A lot of them did not take advantage of that. There's more people that, I don't want anything you got to say. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm happy with what I'm doing, right? That's fine. But then, when it comes to, me giving you a recommendation, don't ask for it, okay? Because you didn't do everything I asked you to do, right? Sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, right? For people like, hey, you're here, I need you there. And in order for you to get here, these are things I'm laying out these things for you to do. Sometimes they took advantage of it. Most of the times they did not, okay? But the people that took advantage of it, people are directors, people are VPs, they're doing whatever the heck they wanted to do because they listened, right? They took what little bit of information I gave them and they ran with it. So if they were proactive and I said, hey, or if they were reactive and I said, hey, we need more of a proactive approach. Sometimes they don't even know what that is. You have to explain to them, just like I explained to everybody just now. So anyway, that's it, because I can be on here for another hour if I wanted to. But no, 42 minutes is probably pretty good, and I didn't answer any questions today. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming on. This is the Daily Check-In with Russell of Hotels. If you didn't like what I had to say today, guess what? I'll be back tomorrow with another topic. So thank you, Jim Schichter. Appreciate you. Now, just FYI, Jim Schichter was COO of Broughton Hotels, the hotel that I talked about that we took to another level with, because we identified certain things that we were not doing, so we got more revenue. So yeah, Jim was that. He's here. Thank you, Watts Roots. Appreciate that. That's my man Cam. Andrew, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on. Andrew's out there in Ancona, Italy. We appreciate you. And what else did he say? Let me just make sure. What the heck? He said, bring it. Yeah, I try to do what I need to do. But anyway, you guys have a great day. And once again, I'll do this again tomorrow around noontime. Okay. So once again, this is the Daily Check-In. And if you didn't see On Air with Russell of Hotels that comes on every Tuesday, that's still there. It's going to be LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and X, right? And this is not on LinkedIn right now, but I'm going to upload it as soon as I get out for this, because I don't know why I did not. And I apologize for that, for not being on the live feed, but for whatever reason, I got logged out of whatever, LinkedIn. So anyway, we'll take care of that. And any questions at all, feel free. Oh, in fact, yeah, there you go. What am I saying? Any questions at all, please feel free to email me at russell@russellofhotels.com. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to assist you any way that I can, because that's what I do, right? That's what I wouldn't be Russell of Hotels if I didn't help you guys with your hotel issues, right? If that's operations, if that's sales, marketing, whatever the heck it is, just reach out and let me know. Until tomorrow, you guys have a great day. And as always,